My name is Ellie Pressman of Barnet Wills, and today I want to talk to you about the £600 million a year rip-off in probate fees. Now, it's estimated that every year banks and solicitors are raking in nearly £1.25 billion in probate fees, and this doesn't even include the money dealing with challenges to wills. That's around 88% of the market, with many experts suggesting that there's at least 50% of that in blatant overcharging. That's a £600 million a year rip-off where banks and solicitors are preying on grief-stricken families dealing with small estates who are in no state of mind to argue about it. Probate is the process of dealing with someone's affairs after they've died, and it can take many months to complete and cost thousands of pounds. But unless a person's estate is large or complex, it doesn't need to cost the five-figure sums I often see. Banks and solicitors often charge a percentage of the estate, irrespective of the size. Some solicitors charge their full hourly rate as well as a percentage, which obviously escalates the costs even further. So don't make an already difficult time worse. Plan ahead. Dealing with the bereavement is bad enough, but finding out afterwards that you've been ripped off is just going to pile on the misery. So here are 5 ways to stop you getting ripped off. Number 1, have your will professionally written. I wouldn't recommend going for a cheap or DIY will. I've seen many of these fail for lots of reasons, wrongly witnessed, and sometimes language used is open to misinterpretation. Imagine writing in there, I leave £5,000 to my grandchildren. Do we mean 5,000 each? Because if you've got 3, that's going to cost £15,000, or is it 5,000 to be shared between them? A standard or basic will could leave your estate vulnerable to attack. Things like divorce, care fees, taxation. Standard will not offer any protection against these. A standard will can also cause huge family fallouts, which ends in expensive litigation. 1 in 4 people said that they would challenge a will if they thought it was unfair or unjust. This is going against the deceased's wishes. Did you know that 1 in 5 families have a massive fallout over a relative's will? If you want any more information on this or anything else I say, please just leave a comment below. Point 2. Unless you have a large or complex estate, don't appoint a professional executor. Once they're appointed, it can be hard to remove them, and you've got no idea whether they're charging for 20 hours work when they've only done 10. So they may not have the depth of knowledge or the resources to deal with your situation. So please make sure you get specialist help to deal with your case. It doesn't have to be with me, but someone like me. And as I said earlier, you don't know whether they're charging an hourly rate and a percentage or just a higher percentage. So what happens when you appoint a solicitor as a professional executor? Well, it's almost impossible to challenge their fees. As Love Money reader Steve from Newcastle found out, when his widowed mother died, her £700,000 estate should have been simple. Sell the house, liquidate the bank accounts, pay the inheritance tax, and distribute equally to Steve and his brother, who are both the executors. Or at least, it should have been that simple. About a year before she died, Steve's brother Alan was in the middle of a divorce. And to make sure that Alan's wife didn't get any part of her estate if she died before the divorce was finalised, a solicitor persuaded the poor confused lady to make a new will, and he also replaced Alan as the executor. Why this helps, I really am not too sure. The solicitor didn't explain his fee structure at all beforehand and presented them with a bill for £25,000. Any competent solicitor could have easily done that for about £5,000. The family were really unhappy with the fees and complained to the solicitor and asked him to stand down, which he refused. They then complained to the Law Society, who backed the 2 brothers, and told the solicitor to back down. He still refused. He had his money and he was holding on to it. In fact, he even charged the estate £1,000 to get council opinion that he couldn't be sacked. So the moral of this story is, can you trust the professional you've appointed? Point 3. Don't undertake it yourself. Many people completely underestimate just how much work is involved. Can you undertake all the legal paperwork, tax calculations, and spare several hours every week just to administer the estate? Are you really happy in having to deal with all the third parties in the administration process, as well as taking on the liability and the financial consequences of being the executor? Point 4. Always look for a service that doesn't charge a percentage. It costs just as much time and money to transfer a property worth £500,000 as it does to transfer a property worth £5 million. So why would you want to pay a percentage of that when an hourly rate for doing the administration makes so much more sense? Recently saved a client nearly £15,000 when I reviewed his will and saw that he'd appointed the solicitor as an executor, charging a massive 4% of the estate to do the administration work. So as I said before, look for a service like Barnet Wills that will charge you a fixed fee rather than a percentage, so you know what you're going to pay in advance. Point 5. Choose the right service. A lot of the cheaper services only get you to the grant only stage. That means you have permission to distribute the assets, but the rest of the work now falls on you. Some services will go a little further by dealing with property or trusts, but at Barnet Wills most of our clients will go for the full administration service. We will value all the assets and liabilities, contact all the utility companies, calculate and pay any outstanding taxes. That includes dealing with all the inheritance tax forms and paying the inheritance tax bill, settle all outstanding debts, and deal with any trusts. We'll offer you great service and great value. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions, doesn't matter how big or how small, please either leave a comment or contact me through the website. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get information on my latest videos as they become available. I've got a great one coming up soon on how you can get up to 60% of your estate before a grant of probate has been given. Hope to see you then.